Welcome. This video will introduce the operation of a tool developed as part of the ACCORD project called Rule Formalisation Tool. If you work in public administrations, such as city councils, and other government agencies responsible for creating building codes and regulations, this tool may be of interest to you. The purpose of the Rule Formalisation Tool is to provide a means for this collective to be able to formalize the regulations provided in plain text documents into machine-executable format. This way, third parties can implement automated compliance checking services capable of automatically interpreting and perform checks from these machine-executable format documents. Much of compliance checking is still carried out using manual methods, which have proven to be laborious, slow, costly, and error-prone. Automated compliance checking methods can enhance the accuracy and productivity of compliance checking processes while addressing the shortcomings of manual approaches. As part of the ACC solution proposed in ACCORD, this video will show how to use the Rule Formalisation Tool and the steps users must follow to do so. To use the Rule Formalisation Tool, users must first register. A new user must specify the first name, last name, and email. And provide a password. Once registered, users will be able to create a project for each regulation they want to formalize by clicking the New Project button. To create a project, users will need to provide a name and a URL that points to its current location on the web, if applicable. For the example, we will use the case of Finnish accessibility of buildings regulation. Next, users will need to provide also the date on which the regulation was officially published, and a country-specific classification code that allows you to classify it to distinguish it from other versions or subtypes. The next is to define the scope between international, national or regional, the language, and the country where the regulations apply. Finally, users must select the unit system used by the regulation, metric or imperial. In case users wants to use the automatic formalization option, they will have to provide a key from the OpenAI platform. Once the project data has been provided, the next step is to upload the regulations document in PDF format. Then, the user can choose between obtain an initial automated attempt at race method annotation via AI-powered service or annotate the text using the raise method from scratch. Regardless of which option users have selected, the tool will take them to an annotation interface. The user can exit the editor and return to the project management screen at any time without losing changes. By clicking on the button arrow, the user can return to the annotation process. If the user has selected the manual option, the tool provides a view of the document like those shown by most PDF viewers. The intention is for the user to start with a familiar view of the document, where text justification and the content per line are maintained to provide the same view as in the PDF viewer, as much as possible. However, as the user begins to select parts of the text, applying the raise method, the original formatting is replaced with the new raise formatting. To annotate the regulatory text using the raise method, the interface provides 8 buttons that allow the user to do so. There are 4 buttons to define clauses and subclauses according to whether they refer to a requirement, application, selection, or exception. Then there are 4 more buttons to select parts of the text based on these same categories to define objects, properties, or references to other parts of the text of the regulation, or to another documents. The interface also provides another button to create sections. This way, when the user selects, for example, the title of a section of the regulation, the tool automatically creates a section from this point of the text to the next defined section. If none has been defined, the section includes all the part of the text that follows the title. The annotation interface includes a text box just to the right of the regulatory text, which displays the text that is selected for tagging, or which has already been tagged before, but users have selected it by clicking on it. The interface also has a Remove button that allows users to remove the currently selected raise tag from the selected text. To carry out the specific tagging as part of the raise process, some additional functionalities are provided to assist in rule generation, especially when the user must include expressions in the BCRL language within the raise tags. BCRL stands for Building Compliance Rule Language, a domain-specific rules language to express checking rules. After the user has selected a text and clicked on one of the raise buttons, a panel appears offering 3 main options for the user to choose from: object, property, or reference. Object option will be selected when users want to indicate that the regulatory text selected refers to the definition of an object. Property option will be selected when users want to indicate that the selected regulatory text selected refers to a property. References option will be selected when there are situations in regulatory text where some articles or clauses refer to other parts of the text, whether it is a specific piece of information, a clause, or an entire section. Race visualization and annotation actions are performed on an HTML file that is stored within the application. All modifications are automatically saved in this file. This involves any tagging action, whether creating raise box clauses or tagging words or parts of text and confirming them. Once the user is sure that the text is correctly tagged according to the raise method, the next step is to validate the BCRL expressions in terms of correctness in the definition by clicking the Validate button. If everything went well, 2 files will have been generated that will include the regulation formalized as knowledge graphs in the JSONLD and YML formats. The first is the one that will be stored in the public rule database. The second provides a better view for humans to identify how the knowledge has been structured. The final step involves publishing the graph into the rule database by clicking the Publish button. Once published, the knowledge graph version can no longer be unpublished. However, until a formalized regulation is published, users can move back to previous stages of the formalization process. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope that the operation of the Rule Formalisation Tool has been explained clearly.